Hey guys, what is going on? Thanks for coming on into this episode of Tony Does Tech. We are going to be going ahead and performing a maintenance clean on this beauty that you're seeing right now. Now I know that if you guys are subscribed here already that you know a lot about this keyboard as it's my first mechanical build. Now I did build this about 2 months ago and I do apologize because we are still waiting for that build video. I do promise that it's going to be coming out, so make sure you're ready for that. But like I said, I've had this almost, not even quite 2 months yet, but almost 2 months. And I'm just ready to give this thing a clean in. You guys know, if you watch me on Twitch, that I have my cats running all around this desk constantly. So that's the main culprit that we're dealing with here. There's probably going to be a lot of hair once we get those keycaps off. I do want to take the entire PCB out of the case and spray it under there. We do have some kind of nasty action that you can see right here. Maybe I'll go ahead and put a picture up of that one. But you know, the point is here, you're not going to see something completely disgusting here, right? With that being said, I do have methods basically to take care of any kind of nasty keyboards. You see, we got a bunch of products over here. When we're working with keyboards, we're going to use really light materials, right? I've got this Dawn kitchen soap, literally grabbed it from the sink. This is just standard blue Dawn. And I'm only going to be using a tiny bit of it, right? We don't want this thing to be crazy sudsy or anything like that. And if I can avoid using it pretty much altogether, then I pretty much will. There's a few keycaps here which I couldn't really get that great of footage of that have some spots on them, but yeah, other than that, we're looking to pretty much touch this case up, sanitize a little bit, and go ahead and get all of the hair out from underneath these switches and really make sure that this keyboard's looking sharp here again. So looking over here to my left hand side, I have a few tools and or chemicals products. Number one, we got a Phillips head screwdriver. That's so we can take the PCB and backplate out of the case. We've got our trusty orange keycap puller, which we got with the keycap set. Next to that, we've got our Q-tips. These are going to be used to get all up in these grooves. We've got a couple different, oh no! We've got a couple different brushes here. We have a boar's hair brush. This is going to be to get all the debris, the loose debris out after we hit it with the aerosol spray. Number two, we do have a kind of stiff bristle brush here. It's not that stiff, I guess, but you know, just a normal toothbrush. It doesn't have any of those rubber feet on it or anything. It's just a standard toothbrush. We're going to use that with the Dawn to scrub stuff. This is going to be where I'm holding my warm Dawn water. Again, you did see we have the Dawn. And last, we've got our spray can of air. All right. Now, if you guys do want to help save the environment, you're going to want to pick up a, electronic air compressor. Unfortunately, I'm balling on a budget right now, and I don't have one of those. But in addition, like I said, there's two more things that I keep forgetting. We have our towels, obviously, to dry things off as we're going. And number two, the other thing, you want to make sure you have something that your keyboard can sit on. This is an older Razer Goliathus that I have here. It's already super stained up and kind of gross anyway. But that's just to protect the desk, protect whatever you're working under. You can also use a nice little towel here. You know, whatever you guys have laying around, I got both, so we are fully prepared. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get some Dawn water going in here, and then we can start getting to work. Alrighty guys, so the first step, we're going to go ahead and take our keycap puller, and I want to clean my keycaps. Oh, we got an angry cat on the desk. So, yeah, as you can see, that's why my keyboard pretty much needs to be cleaned in the first place. But, yeah, first step, we're going to have to go ahead and take each key off. And personally, the way I want to do this, I kind of want to hit these as I'm going. Like I said, I'm not really too concerned about most of these keycaps because they're pretty dang new, and there's not too much on most of them. So you'll see me do a couple of them here, and then we'll move on. Alright, so now I got all the keycaps out. I pretty much cleaned those on the spot. We're going to go ahead and just move these over to the side. primarily just so they don't get blown all over the place when we hit them with some compressed air. But now we can kind of get into the nitty gritty and show you guys where most of the kind of filth and dirt comes from. Like I said, you guys saw my cat, he's always up here. So you can always see, and I'm just not sure how the camera's picking it up, but there's tons of hairs that are really stuck all over the place. And the biggest spot that I noticed that they're stuck right now is kind of where I was lubing these stabs, right here. And I'll try and get some better pics for you. But what I really want to do is go ahead and just get all of this debris that's in here. I'm going to take the PCB completely out of the board so I can blow out the underside of the case as well. And then make sure I'm hitting spots like you can see right here on the exterior of the case. Maybe clean this guy up a little bit. Really just touch up all these areas. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start off and take this guy out of the PCB. We'll clean it from the bottom up first. Alrighty, so that there will do it. We got all the screws out. I'm going to go ahead and lift it out a little bit because you can see my my USB port's over here. So this board, best way to take it out is to kind of slide it up like that. Pull her on out. Oh yeah, look at all that just dropped in there. Now we got our PCB. You can see the underside of it. It's looking pretty good, not too bad. Trying to get on the inside of our plate a little bit if we need to. And then yeah, clean up all that hair, man. But yeah, we got our work cut out for us here on this guy. Take this PCB, set it over here. Now I'll show you guys a real good what I'm talking about. Look at all this. Really hope this camera's picking it up. If you can't really see, but I'm not sure if you can see or not, but there is a lot of debris in there, and it's just simple loose debris. So what I'm gonna do is grab my boar's hair brush that Bubba's knocked on the floor, and right now we're gonna take this is a dry brush, and we're just gonna hit this guy. Majority of that just went down into the corners here. Let's get that out of there. I mean, already that's looking pretty much brand new. Yeah. So now on this board there is a couple of spots I can see. There's some nastiness down in there. There's another mark here, then that other spot here that I wanted to get that we're probably going to need a little bit of moisture for and some sauce. So we're going to hit those spots real quick, real light. Where else do we got him? Yeah, it's kind of this whole bottom here, it seems like. And then right here. Oh yeah. It's another spot there. Spots are pretty good here. Pretty much hit the whole case now at this point, so I really just want to make sure I dry it up real good here. And then anything that I don't dry up, I will, pretty much air dry when I hit this thing with the aerosol. But you do want to really make sure that you get as much of that residue as possible, because if you're using too much Dawn and you apply too much right here and you don't get it off, there might be a little bit of a slimy texture. So I got the board looking pretty dry now. I'm going to go ahead and just hit it with some of the aerosol spray. I'm going to cut the audio obviously right now so I don't kill you guys, but really that's good right there. Honestly, I didn't have to go too crazy because I mean, I pretty much got everything. This case is looking absolutely beautiful. At this point, I want to go ahead and just lightly brush off the back end of this because, again, there are just a couple of hairs. Maybe I even just grab those hairs with my finger here. Yeah, I think that's working pretty good. This works. Just kind of hit this whole thing real quick with a dry brush. Yeah, it's looking pretty good on this end. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to slide this baby back on in here. There we go. And yeah, so just like the back end there, the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this whole thing here with a dry brush. This Boar's hairbrush is really nice because it's not stiff at all, right? So there's really no risk of scratching anything at all here. Really just nicely kind of bristling all that loose debris out that you saw. I want to make sure I'm going both ways, up and down, to get the hairs that are kind of stuck, I guess. And I'm avoiding using too much pressure here because if I go too hard, I risk kind of getting some of these bristles stuck in here. But I've seen a lot of debris falling out. And ultimately, this is probably as good as I'm going to get here with this brush. So now what I'm going to do is come back at it with the toothbrush again. I do kind of want just the smallest amount of moisture on this brush. I mean, there's enough on here now that I could probably start hitting this, but you do not want to be dripping anything. I mean, you saw I used this on that and then I let it sit. I didn't even dip it again. This still just has the smallest bit of moisture left on here, and the stiffer bristle here will you know, really kind of agitate the surface and bring up anything that soft bristle wouldn't touch. So pretty much want to go at this by the grooves, each groove, making sure I hit the vertical side here as well, usually 2 or 3 rows at a time. Just kind of hitting it pretty lightly still. So at this point, the board's looking pretty decent, but it is definitely not as perfect as I'd like it to be because there are still some hairs all over the place, and I legit don't even know if you're able to see it. But there is one more tool I'm gonna grab to assist me in getting the final amount of these hairs out. Just grab some really fine tweezers here, and just make sure you're careful here because these edges are very sharp, right? So you don't want to be scratching things up ugly. You know, this is a finished aluminum plate here, so if I were to make some nasty scratches, you would definitely see it. But I'm literally just going to get in here pretty much one by one. Get as many of these out as I can. Alright, man, well, I just spent like 10 minutes going ahead with that, and I'm pretty sure I got this thing about as good as I'm gonna get it. So at this point, the cleaning process is over, man. All I gotta go ahead and do is, re-screw in those plate screws and go ahead and pop the keycaps back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then we will wrap this thing up and chat about it a bit. Alrighty, well guys, I have a really beautifully clean keyboard here, and I hope that you enjoyed taking this journey with me. I hope that you guys are going to go out there, grab your keycap pullers, grab your tools, get your keyboards nice and squeaky clean. Now again, I know this wasn't the craziest transformation or the dirtiest build, but for me, I like to keep things clean, right? I sit at this office 10, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day sometimes, and I need to keep my space clean. I'm a clean guy, and things look better when they are nice and spotless anyway, right? So anyway, guys, I am Tony Does Tech. Thanks so much for swinging on by. If you guys want to see any more content related to this XD84 from KP Republic, make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to be coming out with the build video soon. If not, until next time, see you later, guys.